The air is cold on your skin, colder than the late September air should be. You hold your son's hand, his small fingers squeezed tight in yours. You can hear it now, just over the rise of the earth wall in front of you. A rhythmic, mechanical chattering. It sounds like a sewing machine, a monstrous one. You've been a tailor your whole life, but you've never heard a sound like this. You look down at your son, Samuel. He is 6. He looks up at you, his eyes wide with a question you cannot possibly answer. All you can do is pull him closer, trying to shield his small, bare body with your own. You are at the edge of the world, and you are about to step off. This is what it's like to live through the worst 2 days of your life. This is the Babi Yar massacre. Just 1 week ago, you were David, a tailor in Kyiv. Life wasn't easy, but it was yours. You had your small apartment, your work, your wife Sarah, and your son Samuel. You worried about the war, of course. The German army had rolled into your city on September 19, 1941. But you were a civilian, a father, a husband. You believed that if you kept your head down, followed the rules, and caused no trouble, you and your family would be left alone. That was your fatal miscalculation. The trap wasn't sprung with force. It was laid with paper and ink. On September 28th, posters appeared all over Kyiv. They were printed in 3 languages: German, Ukrainian, and Russian. The order was simple, direct, and terrifying. All Yids of the city of Kyiv and its vicinity are to appear on Monday, September 29, 1941, by 8 o'clock in the morning at the corner of Melnikova and Doktorivska streets, next to the cemetery. The order commanded you to bring documents, money, valuables, and warm clothing. Failure to comply would be punished by death. You and Sarah debated through the night. What did it mean? The poster mentioned resettlement, a work camp perhaps? It was a lie, but a plausible one. The alternative, that a modern, civilized army would systematically murder tens of thousands of unarmed civilians, was simply unthinkable. And so you decide to obey. It is the last decision you will ever make for your family. The next morning, you wake Samuel before dawn. You dress him in his warmest clothes. Sarah packs what little food you have. You leave your home, the place where you had built a life, and join a river of people flowing through the streets. Tens of thousands of your neighbors, doctors, lawyers, shopkeepers, children, the elderly in wheelchairs, all walking towards the designated corner. The initial mood is one of anxious confusion, but as the crowd swells and armed guards appear, flanking the procession, a cold dread begins to settle in your stomach. The walk is long, miles. The guards from the SS, the SD, and the Ukrainian auxiliary police are impatient, shouting, shoving anyone who moves too slowly. You carry Samuel on your shoulders when his small legs give out. He doesn't understand. He thinks it's a parade. He asks you where we're all going. You tell him you're going on a trip, on a train. The physical toll is immense. The sheer pressure of the crowd, the endless walking, the lack of food or water. But the true labor of these hours is shouldering the growing weight of terror. You finally arrive at a checkpoint. Barbed wire has been set up. This is where the process begins. The guards shout orders. Hand over your documents, now! You take out your identity papers, the small booklet that says who you are. A soldier snatches it from your hand and throws it onto a massive, growing pile. You are no longer David, the tailor. You are just another faceless number in the crowd. Your identity has been erased. The first part of you is gone.
The cage you are in isn't made of steel bars. It's built from deception, bureaucracy, and brute force. The rules are simple. You do exactly as you are told or you are beaten. After your papers are taken, you are forced to a second station. Valuables, all valuables on the ground. You take the gold watch your father gave you and drop it onto the pile. Sarah removes her wedding ring. The metallic clink is lost in the noise of the crowd and the barking of orders. You are being systematically stripped of your past and your possessions. The next station is for luggage and heavy coats. The lie of resettlement is wearing thin. Why would they take your warm clothes if you were being moved to a new home for the winter? Hunger gnaws at you. Thirst is a constant ache in your throat. But the greatest weapon of control is the crushing sense of inevitability. There is nowhere to run. You are surrounded, outnumbered, and utterly powerless. The soldiers are emotionless, their faces blank. They are just cogs in a machine, and you are the raw material it is designed to process. The glimmer of hope you clung to, the faint belief that this was all a monstrous but non-lethal procedure, dies when you hear the gunfire. It's no longer distant, it's close. A steady, horrifying rhythm, and then you see it. Piles upon piles of clothing, shoes, dresses, trousers, children's coats. The crowd in front of you is being forced to undress completely. A woman protests, trying to cover herself. A guard strikes her with the butt of his rifle. She falls. The message is clear. There is no hope. You look at Sarah, and in her eyes, you see the same soul-crushing realization that is in your own heart. This isn't a resettlement. This is a grave. The psychological toll is absolute. Your mind, once capable of hope and reason, is now consumed by a single, primal instinct: terror. You pull Sarah and Samuel into an embrace. You kiss them. There are no words left to say. A guard separates you from Sarah, shoving her into a different group. You scream her name. You never see her again. Your life expectancy is now measured in minutes. The exit from this system is not a gate or a train platform. It is a ledge overlooking a ravine. Babi Yar, the old woman's ravine. The guards, some of them reportedly drunk, push you and your small group forward. You hold Samuel's hand so tightly, your knuckles are white. You force yourself to walk, one foot in front of the other. The ground is littered with the discarded clothes of those who came before you. You can smell the sharp, metallic scent of blood in the air. You reach the edge. Below you is a scene from hell. A pit filled with the bodies of your neighbors, your friends. The machine gunners from Sonderkommando 4A of Einsatzgruppen C are waiting. They don't look at your face. They don't see a father. They don't see a child. They only see a target.
There is no escape. A few, like the actress Dina Pranicheva, would later tell the world how they survived by jumping before the bullets hit and playing dead amongst the corpses for hours before crawling out under the cover of darkness. But for you, there is no such miracle. Your only remaining act of defiance, your final act of fatherhood, is to turn and shield your son's body with your own, to ensure that the last thing he feels is not the cold ground or a storm of bullets, but the warmth of his father's embrace. In just 2 days, on September 29th and 30th, 1941, the Nazi regime and their collaborators murdered 33,771 Jewish men, women, and children at this single spot. Your story, David, is just one of them. Your story, Babi Yar, was not an isolated incident. This was the Holocaust by bullets. While the world remembers the industrialized killing centers like Auschwitz and Treblinka, it is crucial to remember that the genocide began here, in the fields and ravines of Eastern Europe.
The Einsatzgruppen, the mobile killing squads, murdered over 1.5 million Jews in this manner, face-to-face, bullet by bullet. Places like Babi Yar, Ponary Forest in Lithuania, and Rumbula Forest in Latvia were the open-air slaughterhouses where entire communities were systematically annihilated long before the gas chambers were fully operational. The horror of your death was not hidden behind factory walls. It was carried out in broad daylight, a precursor to the horrors yet to come. The story of a father and son at the edge of a ravine is more than just a memory. It is a warning. It is a testament to how quickly a society can descend into barbarism, how easily ordinary people can be turned into monsters, and how fragile the lives of the targeted and dehumanized truly are. For decades, the Soviet Union suppressed the specific Jewish nature of the Babi Yar tragedy. But today, we remember. We remember David. We remember Samuel. We remember the 33,771 souls extinguished in 2 days of unimaginable hatred. Thank you for watching.